5 days. That was the plan. We pushed, we bled, we broke, and we missed it. But legends aren't built in perfect timelines. They're built in overtime. No clock, no timeline, no excuses. Just finish the Z. The first 5 days of this build were pretty good. And the engine is prepped, the engine bay is ready to go. We got all the parts we should have here, and we should be able to get this engine in today. Let's get started. Action-packed. I'm excited. We're supposed to be excited. She's moving.
Sponsor us, Red Bull.
Please. We got the Haltech, right? So the wideband controller, all of that connects to this.
After drinking enough Red Bull to see the future, we decided to get the engine bay prepped. This was unglamorous, you know, it's just routing harness, tucking wires, and making sure everything had clearance and wouldn't come back to haunt us later. While we still had room to move, we decided to work on the steering rack and front suspension. Nothing flashy, you know, just the stuff that makes sure the car goes straight and can turn when we need it to. You know, little things. Then came the big moment. Instead of dropping the engine into the car, we lowered the car onto the engine, which sounds kind of cool until you're guiding motor mounts into place while a whole car hovers above your head. Everything got real quiet at this moment. These slow adjustments, just trying to make sure everything lined up and nothing crushed our hands. And then we finally did it. The car stopped being a project and started being a car.
Engine's in, day 6. That's it, I'm tired. We're leaving, bye. My engine's finally in, but there's a lot left to do. We need to do wiring, we need to do fueling, we need to do radiator, intake, all kinds of stuff. This is Built versus Bought, day 7. Let's get to work.
Day 7 was wiring, and wiring has a way of slowly breaking you down. At some point I realized I had been staring at the same bundle of wires for way too long, so I did what any mentally stable adult would do. I started singing to stay sane.
Many wires wish death upon me. There's clips in my eyes, dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to finish this damn Z, and it's trying to take my life away. Many wires, many, 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 many wires wish death on me. Lord, I'm gonna cry some more. I don't think I'm that guy no more. Okay guys, here we are, day 8. Yesterday I started really late in the day, around 3 in the afternoon. So I only got 4 solid hours of work in. I did get some stuff done, so let me show you. I was able to route the wiring harness through there. All the additional sensors we've added to the car are now part of the jumper harness. 4 hours of work. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but it was, because I had to look at wiring diagrams and get all this thing sorted.
Day 8 was smooth, which felt suspicious at this point. I finished routing the fuel system to the flex fuel sensor and getting everything ready for the Fuelab regulator that was on the way. I also tucked the fuse box harness so it sat out of sight. Nothing crazy, just the kind of small details that make a big difference in the Z's engine bay. For the first time in a while, I wasn't fixing mistakes. I was just refining stuff. Then I turned my attention to the boost pipes. The inlet pipes I ordered were black, but the rest of the car had silver piping, and once you notice something doesn't match, that's kind of all you can see. I know chrome is back in style, but I'm going for the Unk spec vibe. Less is more. So I sanded them down and repainted everything to match. Painting parts is at least 5 horsepower, right? That's just science.
All right guys, today was a pretty good day. Got the inlet pipes in, got the wiring done, did a partial tuck, put in the map sensor, routed the fuel lines, firmed everything up, routed the cable for the battery, put the O2 sensors in. Done for the night. Okay guys, day 9, here we are. I got started about 30 minutes ago, got the radiator in. I also ran the wideband O2 sensor controller. Alex just got here. It's actually 7 o'clock. We're gonna put this on the lift. This is built versus bought. Overtime, let's get to work.
I mean, at this point, you've gotten so far ahead of where I was.
A lower radiator hose. Once the inlet pipes are tightened up, then I need an RTV, the AIT, on the manifold on, prime the oil, prime the fuel, see if it'll turn over, put fluids in it. Alex has been trying to get this turbo bolt in for like 15 minutes. You guys may not know this, but that's peak physical fitness right there. He finally got it. Did you get it?
Pro tip, don't forget to tighten your inlet pipes before you put the engine in. Once that was sorted, I installed the plugs, coils, and buttoned everything up in the engine bay.
This was supposed to take 5 days. Now it's day 10, and the finish line still feels so far away. This thing has to start today. I refuse to go another day without hearing it make some noise. This is built versus bought overtime. Let's get to work.
Fuelab sent over their brushless pump and controller, so the stock hanger had to come out. We modified it, dropped the new pump in, and wired up the controller. It flows like stock at idle, then once it's tied into the Haltech, it can ramp up and outflow a Hellcat pump on demand.
I've got the ECU hooked up and all the harness hooked up and everything's in. All I gotta do is hook up this battery, but for some reason I'm really nervous about it. I just hope all the wiring's right, you know? I'm just gonna do it, let's go for it. I think I just heard the fuel pump prime. Yeah, she's leaking fuel. Wow, she's leaking a lot of fuel. Ugh. Shit. Leaks everywhere. Whew. It's good. Now that remains is I gotta load the tune onto the Haltech. I'm happy as hell right now, boys.
After fixing that fuel leak, it was time for fluids. Oil, coolant, power steering, all courtesy of O'Reilly, who did not sponsor this build, by the way. Maybe they should. With everything topped off, it was time to load my base map onto the Haltech and get her done.
Here we go. We're just priming the engine right now.
Priming the engine is cranking it with no spark in order to get oil flowing through it so it's protected before you start it. If you've been rooting for this car this whole video, now would be a good time to subscribe and leave a comment.
Start it off the same way. Oh, we got oil pressure.
We got oil pressure?
Getting oil.
She's alive! She's alive!
Is that you?
No.
Rev it.
And she's dead.
And it was running until I gave it gas.
Gave it gas?
Well, yeah, the builder said don't let it just sit at idle too long. I gotta hit it a little bit.
Fuel pressure regulator, vacuum line connected.
What?
Is your fuel pressure vacuum line connected? Fuel pressure regulator vacuum line.
No, because I was gonna get rid of it and put the new one in that I haven't gotten yet, and I forgot.
Okay, I can't be perfect all the time. Minor detail. After that, it was time to put the body panels back on and get her ready for her first drive, which felt crazy because for the first time in a year and 10 days, this thing wasn't just sitting, it was about to move.
Here she is. I'm about to go for my first drive. I will not be filming this. This is just for me, guys. I hope you understand. I just want to experience it, not have to worry about if the shot's good. I just want to enjoy my car. Don't worry, I'll get more clips later, but she made it. I am trembling. You can probably see it in the camera. Oh man, what a drive. Obviously had to take it easy, just breaking in, letting the ring seat, a lot of low power pulls, just sitting on vacuum. Man, she made them. Did it, boys.
For the first time in a year and 10 days, she was moving again. I thought the hard part was over. Boy, was I wrong. See you in episode 3.